Hi, Ryan. Thank you so much for your work on this week's prompts. It was a real pleasure to get to know you just a little bit through your poems. So, thank you so much for trying both prompts and thank you for getting them in on time. I appreciate it. It seems to me that this is poetry is not new to you. I don't know if you've taken classes before, or if you've just written some on your own and or perhaps you just have a real knack for this, but there's a real playfulness with your language that I'm already seeing. There's seems to be a real zest and a joy in writing towards these prompts. So I'm very excited to read your work and very excited to work with you over the next 8 weeks. Um, I really like the title of your first piece, Point of Origin. Your questions, does the poem manage to keep a coherent flow going? I do think it does. I think sort of the similarly shaped stanzas that you chose to format your poem in work very well. Um, and I think the details that you include also help with the flow. Anything you can alter for the sake of clarity. The only thing I was thinking is there's a couple things that Mary Pfeiffer included in her poem, and I wonder if they would add to yours. So, one of the things she includes is sort of phrases that are said by her family members that she hears over and over again in childhood. So that would be really interesting, I think, in your poem. I wonder if there were phrases that were sort of more traditionally Irish or more traditionally Mexican that you grew up with that you could include. Um, and then the other thing I would suggest is you already have these beautiful descriptions of emotions and sort of the character of your family members that were passed on to you. But even the idea of like listing some childhood objects, Mary Pfeiffer, I know, lists a Schwinn bike, for example, which really sets you in this particular generation with this particular object. So I wonder if you included some objects in your poem as well, if that felt like something you'd like to do. Please know that my suggestions are always that are suggestions. Yes, I am the teacher of this course, and hopefully I'll have some wisdom to share, but really I'm here as a guide, and I'm here as another reader of your work, and I'm here in collaboration with you and your work. So you always get to make the final decisions about your poems forever and ever. These are just ideas. Your second poem, A Pouch of Books Upon the Wall. You know, I have to say, one of your questions is specifically, does the symbol I chose visualize itself easy enough? I'm not exactly sure what the strip of black hanging on the door is. At first, I thought it was a belt, but your title says A Pouch of Books Upon the Wall. I definitely understood that this was a poem about a young reader, about somebody who looked at books even before they could make sense of the words of those books. Um, the idea that all those books are filled with these like treasures that we get to access through the reading of them. Um, the more words you understand, the more clearer they become. Like all of that, I'm with you. I completely understand. It's just the strip of black that I'm not quite sure what that might mean. Um, so in terms of like the visual symbol, I don't know. But once again, I'm just one person, so there may be folks in your writing group that read this poem and say, "Oh, I know exactly what that is." Your other question: does the impetus of what inspired me succeed in coming across? So yes, so to that one, I think I spoke to it. It absolutely does. Um, Thank you so much for sharing your work, Ryan. I'm really excited about reading more of your work next week. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, especially in the early days of this class. Looking forward to reading more. Thank you.